What is up, folks at home? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the difference between a good bait and a bad bait for bass fishing, what the difference is, and kind of what you can expect when you're getting new lures to fish with. Let's go. So guys, let's say that we're looking to get some new baits to go fishing with. A lot of times people go and they pick out flashy baits, or they pick out baits that look good and they take them out and they can't catch fish with them. And a lot of times it's not the bait that makes the difference, it's the application of how people are using the bait. So let's take an all-time classic, the Yamamoto Senko. There's not a person in the world that can convince me that the Yamamoto Senko is a bad bait. The application of this Senko is what makes this bait so special. And what I mean by application is, I can use this bait in so many different ways, in so many different situations that I can catch fish. I can wacky rig this bait and catch fish almost anywhere, all the time. I can Texas rig this bait, weighted, unweighted, catch fish almost anywhere. I can skip it, I can pitch it. I can put this on a jig and fish it deep. I can fish it totally weightless up shallow. I can twitch it, pull it, Neko rig it. The possibilities for this bait are endless, and it's literally just a stick worm piece of plastic, right? This is probably accounted for more bass caught than any other lure in the history of time. But the thing that makes this bait great is ease of application, right? It's almost hard to mess up how you fish this bait, right? Say that, you know, I know nothing about fishing and I hook this bait right through the middle with a hook that's too big for it and chuck it out there. I'm probably gonna catch a fish simply because this is a unassuming profile that has a lot of secondary action that comes through the water and gets bit. This is a good bait, right? The ease of application is easy. And as you see anglers get better and more proficient at their craft, that ease of application changes things, right? People go from fishing it, you know, on the wrong gear to the right gear with the right rod and reel, with the right line, with the right hook, in the right situations, and their catches are going to exponentially grow. The ease of application for this bait is easy, right? It's super easy. You almost can't mess it up, which makes this bait a great bait, right? Now, let's look at a bait that I love and that I really use a lot, but a lot of people struggle with, and that is the 6th Sense Panorama. I have figured out how to make this really thin, realistic looking fish profile catch fish. Now, the ease of application for this bait is not easy. This is not a plug and play bait. This is a bait that takes a lot of forethought and a lot of ability to adapt and put it into a situation where it's going to catch you fish. That is the difference between a good and a bad bait. Now, there are some baits out there, right? 6th Sense Fishing, that Milliken bait, that swim bait, is the Hangover. It's just a terrible bait, right? Unless you modify it heavily, you do a bunch of stuff to it, and then maybe it works in niche situations, right? It's just a bad bait. Like, it happens, right? There are other soft plastics that are just bad baits that were made too quickly or rushed to market. But this bait catches a lot of flack for not catching fish, and it's because it's not an easy bait to apply, right? Here I have it Neko rigged, right? I got that nice little #1 hook in there. I got nail weights in the belly of that bait, you can see there. And if you don't spend a lot of time underwater with baits like I do, you wouldn't ever think to Neko rig this bait and make it applicable, right? This bait is deadly Neko rigged. This bait is also deadly rigged up like that, Texas rig style, and twitched over the surface. You can catch a lot of fish. You can drop shot this bait and catch a lot of fish, but you've got to counterweight it and put a toothpick in the tail and do all kinds of things. So there's a lot of steps between making this bait a good bait and a bad bait. And a lot of times baits get bad raps because people don't take the time to understand the niche of the bait. Another bait that I had to personally learn on were blade baits. I always thought that blade baits were hot garbage until I moved up here into northern Indiana, and blade baits are a staple, right? Certain baits work better in certain situations. There is yet to be a fishing lure that works in every situation, every time, all the time. It's an elusive thing, right? Every body of water is different, every fish population is different, but the application of baits over different circumstances makes them good baits or bad baits, right? There are certain 3 or 4 baits that I believe run the gamut of good baits in every situation, and they kind of stay in that category if used correctly. But there are a lot of baits that I wouldn't ever fish unless there's a certain window when it works really, really well, right? The Panorama is one of those baits. It gets a lot of rap for being a bad bait, but it's really not a bad bait. It's just a hard bait to apply. So next time you go to the tackle shop, think about baits that are easy application baits and baits where it's more of a niche application or a harder thing to understand, and then work to figure out what that niche really is. Guys, if you have baits that you want me to try out, test out, let me know in the comments what they are. We're looking for new baits and new sponsors for the channel. So do me a favor, let me know what baits you guys want to see in the comment section. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, help support this channel. Go to our links, buy some stuff off of that. It allows us to film more baits and do more things. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. Let me know in the comment section what baits you think are good and what baits you think are bad, and then maybe we'll do some underwater on those bad boys. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. We'll see you next time.